The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is losing a record number of its membership.
I also should add, unless I put this at the beginning of the video, with the neglect or the stopping of posting membership numbers, it does seem to fit the pattern of what the church is doing here, the plot that they're planning. They've finished the Book of Mormon video series. They're done with that. They're not going to finish it. They're not going to cover the wars. They're not going to, none of that. They're done. And they're also finished with the handbook, releasing that to the public. They're done. I've not seen changes to the handbook for quite a long time now. They used to do that on a regular basis. But just the fact that Nelson released the handbook was a big event, which I don't know if Mormons fully grasped and understood. And then there's another thing that they've completed. I can't remember it. I did at the beginning, but did the other one first. But they were hoping to have the Salt Lake Temple completed for 8 April 2024's General Conference weekend, the 6th and the 7th, to have a Saturday as the rededication ceremony. And so it may be put off till May 1st. If you are completely unaware of the significance of May 1st in the Bergamite Mormon Church, let alone the history of the Nauvoo Temple and its dedication, yeah. But the church is purposely planning for destruction of America so that they can pave the way to restore their kingdom. And so I can see they're finishing things up. They're getting things done and out of the way so that this can happen. And so, yeah, with apostles dying, yeah, who cares? They'll just rise up in the New World Order. Start all over again. I've already got the name for the church for them. The Ministering Church of Jesus Christ of Millennial Saints. And so, the Joseph Smith Papers, that's it. They're going to finish volume 15 on Joseph Smith's birthday, June 27th. So they're fully confident that whatever's coming is going to come after that. Though they don't need to. Joseph Smith's stuff is all in now. And so whatever they're coming out with for volume 15, it seems kind of moot, other than they're going to make it into a book form. Assuming that the stuff that's online is what they're going to be turning into a book form, but I haven't spent the time to figure that out yet. And so, yeah, it seems strange that they'd even want to continue to cling to the Book of Mormon and the Joseph Smith Papers, because it exposes that the church is false. 1 Nephi chapter 1 verse 2. Oh, we're not Christian? The Book of Mormon is not another testament of Jesus, huh? Wow, that's news. Wonder when that change happened. And then, yes, there's a whole bunch of scriptures that should have been put into our Doctrine and Covenants that Brigham Young said no. There's some reasons why he said no. But, yeah, they're finishing things up. And you do that in preparation for something you know is coming that's going to cause you to make a big change in your life. And so, yes, that has me deeply concerned, because I'm still far behind on the projects that I need to have finished before this anticipated event that the church is plotting for. So, yeah, it's very clear I'm not going to get finished, despite having the time now to do it, but I don't have the resources. I can only do one project at a time, unless the project involves running automatically for a long period of time. Like that one, I put it in and I've got some time before I have to deal with it and start another project. This one, I'm having to do the videos, but once I'm saving it, then it doesn't take so much. Then I can do something on this computer. But, yeah, faster speed internet makes my life easier, but yet makes it complicated at the same time, because now I have to spend more time on this one, which is the main one now, because for some reason this one is going slower, but maybe I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, the damage that the church has done to me is damaging. So, yeah, the church membership numbers, stopping them just seems to be an instance where they've maxed out at 16.8 million, I think it was, and they don't care to discuss it any further, as they still get more in tithing interest than what membership gives in tithing. But they're still collecting as much money as they can until this time ends. They're even doing other things to make more money, doing more business deals with our enemies around the world, and other opportunities to make more money, as I see in the church news. It's more frequent now. So, heads up, because you're not going to believe me, are you? And yet, I'm always right. The church knows it, and they're pissed, but failed to destroy me. They've ruined me, but they can't silence me yet. They've failed on that, as Todd failed, and is punishing me for it, apparently. We'll see. But I'm redoing the video now. Travis Wayne Goodsell, I need to stop getting inspired to do videos so that I can actually watch videos, as I am, after the last video, want to watch Bad Boys, the trilogy there. They just make it too easy for me. Evil. They just make it too easy to mock. Whereas, if you falsely mock somebody, it exposes your hate. So, you got to be careful that you are judging righteously, because otherwise you get exposed. And then you'll contract. So, I checked again this morning. No membership numbers. I don't think they're doing it. I think, was it the end of 2021? Yeah, I think it was. When I did the videos that the church this year had forced my brother to to attack me, to get them taken down, because it dealt with church membership numbers. And so clearly, with the church not releasing church membership numbers, even after doing the videos, the church is hurting big time with membership. There's no other explanation. It's not revelation from God. We're going to keep our membership numbers a secret now. We're not going to tell people how many have joined the church. We're just going to tell missionaries to go out and convert. And so, yeah, there's a cover-up going on here, guys. Just like for their finances, that we only find out that they're covering it up because of the crimes that they commit when the government finally does something to them in punishing them, like the SEC did. We're still waiting for the IRS. We're still waiting for the DOJ for the crimes that they're committing on a more grander scale. I mean, seriously, you can't figure out that when they say that Jesus is coming and they're going to establish the kingdom, and you can't figure out that they're seeking to overthrow the government? And that's a no-brainer, that Christianity is that evil. The church, specifically, is that evil. And I guess we should have seen this coming when home teaching was replaced with the ministering program. And no longer are we keeping track of the records of doing home teaching. And I could see the failure as an elder. I learned firsthand why elders didn't want to do home teaching. They're too busy trying to provide for their families. And it seems almost like it's ridiculous. You're sending missionaries or elders to home teach to give a lesson from the first presidency to members of the church who are already active, who've most likely read it themselves, and we're just repeating the first presidency message for the month. Home teaching was purposely designed to keep track of who got home taught, so that we made sure that the membership are prosperous, so that we don't let any Mormons slip through the cracks and become lost sheep, either through poverty or through inactivity. And by doing away with home teaching, it's fine if that's all home teaching was to get stats for teaching the first presidency message or reading it. Technically, nobody ever actually taught anybody. We just read it, and they provide questions at the bottom of the message, but the whole concept had failed. And instead of redesigning it to get people back to what it was intended to be used for, Nelson just scrapped it and replaced it with ministering, which is also failing, as we found out from conference. People are getting ignored, as I knew it would happen, because if home teaching was only for reading the first presidency message, ministering is not going to change anything. It's just going to make things worse. Now nobody's getting a first presidency message, and nobody's getting visited. Nobody's getting checked on. And so it just made things worse. And I saw that coming. I'm a seer. And I did the videos, but Yeah, it should concern Mormons. The whistleblower in 2019, December, did his videos in which he informed us that the church is making so much money off of interest with what's at Ensign Peak Advisors that membership does not even need to pay tithing anymore, because Ensign Peak Advisors is making more off of interest. And that's an incredible lot of money. And it's Ensign Peak Advisors is only for what the church funnels into it, the 10% of the total money each year. And he was saying it was 1 to 2 billion. And so the total number of tithing is 10 to 20 billion. And where is that money going? And you say, well, it's going to build all these temples and churches, and yeah, that doesn't cost that much. The Salt Lake Temple renovation, yeah, it's going to be several $1 billion, but the temples, no, they purposely made them smaller so they didn't have to spend so much. You know, we're talking maybe several $1 million for each temple, and then maintenance. It can't be millions for maintenance each year, more like hundreds of thousands, if anything, at the highest. And then you've got conversion rate, and so all the temples in third world countries, yeah, $1 should cover it for the rest of its life with the conversion rate, unless our government defaults on its debt, which anytime now, and we're all going to suffer for it. But yeah, for the church to attack me before conference, when they normally would release the membership numbers after conference, and not do it, it says something that things are worse than they realize, or they want us to realize. Because we've known since 2012, when it was reported in the news that there was a mass exodus of Mormons who just said, I no longer want to be active in the church. Thus the home teaching problem was still continuing its downward spiral. The percentage of new Mormons was decreasing over the years. And so even though the membership numbers total was increasing every year, the number of new converts was decreasing. And that's not supposed to happen yet. There are 8 billion people in the world, and we're in those countries that have the bulk of the populace of the earth, and yet the church is still unable to go any further. So we're like cryptocurrency that is maxed out, and the leader of cryptocurrency is calling it quits and screwing everybody over. Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme. Ponzi scheme, as it's also called. That's what the church is with their missionary program. I've been doing the videos for you. And so apparently the world has had enough of Mormonism, and the Mormons have had enough of Mormonism. And so we're seeing the fall of the great and abominable church. So the question is, are the remaining Mormons who stay in their spiritual witness bubble of denialism, are they going to attack so that they can establish their kingdom and prove they're true? Enforcing faith with the sword, or shall we say the javelin? Teancum's javelin. And I'm sure everybody knows that domestic terrorist group that the Southern Poverty Law Center refused to label as a domestic terrorist group, even though they are. So, I guess they're now going to change the name to the Ministering Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because that did so well. And so, since they are not wanting stats and membership numbers to be known, that seems to be what they're doing here, is they're just doing ministry work. You're just going out and talking about the church to other people. If they want to be converted, okay, great, pay the tithing, don't really need it, but hey, thank you. Church thanks you. And, such is the way it is. It's also concerning in the sense that Mormons can no longer use the excuse that the ad populum fallacy to justify them being true anymore. I guess that's why they're doing this push on YouTube now of testimonials. Converts who testify the church is true. I was a pastor, therefore the church is true. No, that doesn't prove anything other than they're illiterate. You've been lying to them, and they're not reading their Book of Mormon. Because again, it's a no-brainer. When the Book of Mormon says it's in the learning of the Jews, that means it's not another testament of Jesus Christ. But when the church put it on the cover, as part of the title, all Mormons say, oh, see, it's another testament. That's what it says. You have no idea. It's not part of the original Book of Mormon. Original Book of Mormon, learning of the Jews. Original name of the church, No Jesus. And Mormons just refuse to accept this. And the rest of us who are catching on, which is the majority, the ad populum fallacy. I guess if the majority of Mormons are not Mormon, that means the church isn't true. Thus, you can't use ad populum to argue your situation, because I just showed you the opposite extreme with the same fallacious argument. So, but the true one is that it's Jewish, it's not Christian. You're lying. Lying for the Lord. That's all it is. So, my brother retaliated. I think he retaliated. I'm still waiting for confirmation from Legacy, the funeral service people, or the website. But I'm being denied access to my mom's obituary. She died on December 21st, 2021. Yeah, 2021. 12, 21, 21. 12, reversed, 21. I caught on, but I didn't find out until, I think, the 24th, when I first found out, or it was after Christmas, because I was checking the obituaries, because my mom sent her last letter in September. I still have to find it, assuming I brought it, or it got brought, to see what she said in her final letter to me. And my brother, when he attacked me by orders of the church, had tried to use the psychological manipulation that I'm upset because I didn't get informed by him about a mom's death. Get the hell out of here. He doesn't watch my channel. He doesn't watch YouTube. And so, yeah, I saw right through him. And he was approached by the church. Your brother has these videos. We're not wanting him to get popular about the church numbers dropping. So get him, or you're fired. And so, yeah, I put him in his place when he got the lawyer. And YouTube helped, because the Mormon employee wasn't involved in the decision. But, yeah, I can't access the obituary anymore. Because I'm still checking to find out when my dad's going to die. Because last I heard, through my ex, who I told, I don't want you communicating with them. They're bad people. They disown me. They want nothing to do with me. They tried to murder me to help the church. And so she ignored me and got a hold of my mom and had found out that my dad had quadruple bypass surgery, where my mom was doing just fine. And now my mom's dead, and my dad's not. So, yeah, very curious as to why the website, they hired Cloudflare to verify people checking their website. And so you have to verify you're a human. And so I check the box, and then it buffers, and then it pops back up again. So I check the box, and it buffers, and comes back up again. It's an eternal cycle that I can never access the site. And so was that done on purpose so that I cannot check on my parents? I don't know, but I'm hoping they'll reply. So, yeah, that I could see my brother doing that. He's that much of an ass that he loses. And I'm still wondering, did you get fired, Todd? Did you? Did you? You fulfilled prophecy of the sign in the heavens. Did you know that? Did you watch those videos? Are you still watching? Probably not. I doubt it. Yeah, the solar eclipse we just had on the 21st of April. Or the 20th, technically. 19th in Australia. The two foxes of Samson. Are the foxes, tails of the foxes. That's Pisces, the tails of the fish. Is actually the foxes. And my brother, Todd, means fox. And Fox News is the other fox. The other tail that got burned. Over Dominion voting. Hilarious of the timing. So, fulfilled scripture prophecy for the latter days. And, yeah, my brother is part of prophecy now. So, welcome to the club. The prophets are already involved. Still waiting to see when Holland's going to die, to see if there's going to be a sign in the heavens for him. We have a month, plus or minus, and it's now have to be plus, after the signs that we've just experienced with the Samson prophecy. But no lunar eclipses. We're finished with lunar eclipses until 2025, I think. The tetrad was the final big one for us. And so, yeah, it'll have to be a falling star sign, which, yeah, with the Samson one was part of that. But we do have a coming up sign of a annular eclipse also, that or an annual eclipse. I was thinking of the one in Russia. That's the problem with associative memory, is that my mind associates my memory, but my mind keeps on going, and so when I speak or do things, I'm jumping ahead of myself because of my associative memory. So, big problems that you don't have to worry about because you memorized. And so, yeah, it's, yeah, we'll see. Over Utah, 14 October. That's the Samson's wife burning. It's in Virgo. So, yeah, the church is falling. And they're not falling in love. Awesome song. It's from Julia Roberts. I think it was from one of her movies. I'm falling in love. Anyway, I'm rambling now. This was only about membership numbers. Going into ministry.